This is going to be a no edit video because I did not bring my MacBook. I brought my work MacBook because it's the only one that has a card reader, so I can transfer files from I know I'm pointing at my microphone, from my camera onto my computer, so I can empty the SD card regularly. I'm still trying to get into the world of vlogging, but it doesn't have editing software on it, so I'm just gonna have to upload this as is in one go. I had zero time to record the second part of my Disney video because I worked really late on Thursday to wrap up as much as possible before I left on vacation. So I decided I would just make it here, but instead, because I had kind of the worst first day ever, I thought I'd ramble about that and tell you. So first of all, I flew in yesterday. I tried very hard to vlog that, but I kept forgetting to pick up the camera. I really have to get used to the world of vlogging. So there'll be some clips, but I don't know if I'm really going to use them. I'll have to see once I'm not even going to look at editing anything in here because I don't have editing software. That'll be when I get back home, so I'll see what I can put together. But today, let me go back to yesterday. I got picked up. I used a shared shuttle service. I prefer them. They're the cheapest, and it makes me feel a little bit safer because you're with a bunch of other people. It picked me up at 5 p.m. from my terminal. Then it picked up at 2 other terminals. And I checked into my hotel at 7:30. So it took 2.5 hours. And they dropped off 3 people before me. So I wasn't the last, I was the second to last. The poor girl that was left behind me had to go to 24th Street, and we were at 41st Street. The air conditioning came on. Sorry, I'm not gonna cut it out. It is roasting. I am roasting. I just got back. I am mad and I am roasting, so it's gotta stay on. She probably still, I think she didn't live here because she was surprised at how bad the traffic was, but she still had quite a bit of way to go. The driver, every time he got out, he smoked a cigarette. And at one point I said to him, if I had to do your job, I think I would die from stress. He kept sounding his horn because someone else almost hit him. And he kept cursing at other drivers. And he said to me, oh, this is a medium day. This isn't even a busy day. And I was like, are you kidding? 2.5 hours from JFK to my hotel. And most of that was just being stuck in traffic, so yay. I went to Starbucks, got myself an iced tea, got myself one of those protein packs with cheese and crackers that I love, that we just don't have at Starbucks in Ireland or the UK. I've looked for it a few times in London, but I love those. I think they're great for breakfast. So I picked up one, and then, because there was only one left that late at night, and then I went back this morning and picked up 2 more, one for tomorrow and one for the day after for breakfast. And so I was exhausted. I fell asleep around 10 p.m. I started watching TV and I just kept nodding off. So I fell asleep around 10, which at that point, was already 3 a.m. in Ireland. But I had also been traveling all day and I was just chilled. Um, also, sorry for the lighting. The sun keeps going in and out. Yeah, I did close the curtains, but it keeps going in and out. So I chilled a little bit, watched some YouTube videos, had my breakfast, took all my medications, and then around 9 I got dressed, put makeup on, was ready to go. Still, I had the Empire State Building booked for 11. Still didn't actually manage to leave until 10:30. No, 10:15. Went to Starbucks to pick up an iced tea and the 2 snack packs, and then I went into the CVS across the street to pick up some more snacks. I picked up a pack of almond M&Ms, which we don't have in Ireland, and a big bag of regular big cheese puff. Cheetos, oh gosh, which I'm pretty sure, if anyone in Ireland wants to correct me in the comments, if you've ever found them somewhere, let me know, but I'm pretty sure we also don't have those in Ireland. And then it started raining, drizzling, but it wasn't supposed to rain until Monday and Tuesday, and only like a 45% chance of rain. My family always joke that rain follows me everywhere, but it's really hard to deny it when it genuinely happens. So I was like, it's drizzling, it's fine. Just, you've got 15 minutes left. It's only supposed to take you 15 minutes from here to the Empire State Building. Just go. And then I realized I didn't look up directions to the Empire State Building beforehand. I was going to look them up on Google Maps and screenshot them because of the lack of US data plan. And I hadn't done that. So, went back to my hotel, dropped my shopping off, canceled my Empire State Building booking. But I might rebook if I can find the time, but I always said Empire State Building is something I'll take or leave. It was included in the city pass as a non-negotiable, like it's one of the 2 attractions you had to do, and I've done it before and didn't love it. And again, I'm terrified of elevators, and that is an elevator that is always extremely crowded and has to go very high. So I kind of knew that once I got there and stood in front of that elevator, there was a good chance I would run away as fast as I could anyway. So I probably won't end up doing that, but I'm fine with that. So I went back to my room. The Champions League final was on today. I knew I wanted to watch that. That was from 12 to 2 New York time. But I was back here at like 11:15. So I was like, no, you know what? Times Square is a 5-minute walk. Go to Sephora. You are going to do most of your shopping today. Why don't you already just do that? So I went to Sephora. I didn't get half of what I had on my list because it was a big Sephora. They didn't have much. Like, Rhode is a freaking brand that sells out. I wanted to pick up 2 new Rhode glazing milks. Sold out on the website, sold out in every freaking store. And I was talking to the guy at the till about it, and he was like, oh, I know. He said I'd love to, because I asked him if he knew if they were gonna be back in stock in the next few days. And he said, I wish I knew because I'm also running out. He said, but from stores, like in stores from here to Los Angeles, they're all sold out. So I don't know. Then they didn't have any of the blushes at all. They just weren't on display. I asked someone in the store, she said, we don't have them. So, and then there were some brands that I even couldn't find, and I walked around that store for half an hour it was 11:45 by the time I left. But don't get me wrong, I still bought a fair bit, and it's my first day here. I can do other Sephora's, but so far, the things that weren't in stock in that one appear to not be in stock in any in New York. So we'll just have to see. And by the way, again, yes, I'm complaining about first world problems, but I've had a day, so just let me. So then I went back to my hotel, was back in time for the football game. It went into extra time and then to a penalty shootout. So what I thought would be done by 2 ended up being done by like 3:15. Let's say 3:15. I was rooting for Arsenal. I'm a Manchester United supporter all the way, but I would have liked an English team to win it because I'm not a fan of PSG. Sorry. For anyone that's French, it's nothing personal. It's just I don't like PSG. So, and being a Premier League follower, I would have loved it to be an English team, but they lost on a penalty shootout. So I spent all that time watching it for nothing. So I left my room after that and then did Times Square. There's a festival going on Times Square. Big section of the road has been made car free, which is great, but like food stalls everywhere and people everywhere. I went into the M&M store because I always wanted to visit that, but I was out pretty quick. I don't know why it seemed so great to me, but I'm not like an M&M's lover. I love peanut M&M's and I love almond M&M's, mostly because I love almonds more than peanuts, but we don't sell them, so I always get them when I'm here. But I get them in like Walgreens or CVS apparently. In Orlando, I can only ever find them in Walgreens. No other store seems to sell them, but here CVS did. Nothing in the M&M store seemed that exciting to me, so from there on, I went straight to Top of the Rock. Walked into Rockefeller Center in the wrong street. I walked in on the 49th Street entrance, and you're supposed to go in. It said for Top of the Rock, use the 50th Street entrance, and I was like, no, I am not walking a whole other block. I know from memory that you can walk just through Rockefeller Center, and there are several entrances. And that turned out to be the case. Walked through Rockefeller Center, visited the NBC store to see if they still had any Friends merchandise, and in the very, very big hope that they might still have some Will and Grace merchandise. Yeah, Will and Grace is completely gone. Friends they still have, they probably always will, but it's very, it's more like t-shirts and hoodies and mugs. Nothing majorly exciting. So then I got to the Top of the Rock that I booked for 4 p.m. And the guy was like, do you have a ticket? And I said, yep. I said, can I see it? Looked everywhere. Could not find my phone. And I know exactly what happened. I bought a crossbody bag. It's like a fanny pack but like one you wear across your body. Just for safety, it fits my vlogging camera. It fits my phone. It has a few side pockets for like medication that I might need or anything like that. So it my hotel key. And if I really want to, I could fit like a bottle of drink in there too. Just become a bit heavy, but I could do it. But because that's the only thing I was really going to do, I was like, just take your, and maybe, I didn't know if I was going to buy something in the M&M store. I was like, maybe just take your backpack instead. The vlogging camera has a wrist strap, so you can actually just carry it the whole way. You don't in a bag and keep taking it out. Just carry it the whole way, even if you're not using it. And then I was gonna put my phone in the big pocket of my backpack because it's harder to steal from there than the front pocket. And then I thought, no, just hold your phone. You can hang the camera from your wrist strap and just hold the phone in your hand, because you can't film everything and not take a single picture. And like your family and friends on Facebook want to get updated on your trip too, so take pictures. So it turns out that was my plan, but I left my phone on my bed. I didn't actually pick it up. So I arrived exactly at 4, and I was like, I didn't bring my phone. And I thought, since I made a reservation up front, they might have a reservation system that they could look it up, and if I had my driver's license with me, I could show ID. But no, they didn't. I had to have my ticket. So he said, as long as you make it back within the hour, you're fine. But I was pissed because I had already gone out twice that day and come back to my hotel. Usually once I'm back in my hotel, I don't leave anymore. My concerta seems to be doing its job in that regard, but I was sweating. My back was killing me. I just was not in the mood. So I walked back via the Nintendo store. Loved that. I did pick up a few things there. I'll show you those at the end of the video to end on a happy note. But then I walked back. Now there was supposed to be a Target in one of the side streets from my hotel. I tried 3 side streets. Couldn't see a Target anywhere. And at this point, I was so pissed at myself that at my inability to read a map, I Google mapped this thing. Couldn't find it. And then I really wanted a Shake Shack because I've been craving those for months. And there's supposed to be one at Bryant Park. I could see Bryant Park from sort of the first side street next to my hotel. So I was like, okay, well, at least that's Bryant Park, so I'll go there. Because once you're back in your room, I know you're not leaving it. So I got to Bryant Park. Food stalls enough. No Shake Shack. I asked several people on the grass, but they were all tourists, didn't know. So then I asked a group of girls. They were from there. They were like, oh, there's definitely a Shake Shack at Bryant Park. But Bryant Park is not just the park. The street leading up to this, the street you walked. She was like, did you walk past a Soul Cycle? And I said, yeah, I walked through that street. She said, yeah, that's also called Bryant Park. So she Google mapped it. And she was like, yeah, if you go back down that street, past the Soul Cycle, if you get to this particular building, I can't remember what it was called, turn right and it's there. So I walked back and there was a big square there with a Shake Shack, and I was like, really? You walked straight past it and didn't even see it? So at least I think I threw away the container, but I still have their lemonade. At least I got my Shake Shack, and that was good. So I am now back in my room. I got back well after 5, so I was unable to change my Top of the Rock reservation. You have to change it 30 minutes before your planned time, and you're allowed to show up anywhere within an hour window, but then you forfeit your ticket apparently. So I am going to try my best tomorrow to go by and see if they'll just accept it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to get on with the City Pass support team and say, look, if you don't want a refund, because it says you can't cancel it. You won't get a refund. So if they don't want to refund it, I'll just say, look, can I cancel my Guggenheim ticket and book a new Top of the Rock one instead? And if I can't do that, and if it's like, no, it's one per pass, I'll pay separately for it. I really want to do Top of the Rock, but what person this day and age forgets their phone? Everything is on my phone. This was another thing. So I went into the Nintendo store and realized once I started queuing that I put money on Revolut to transfer into dollars so that I can pay in dollars and don't have to constantly pay conversion fee. My Revolut card physically is at home. It's only on my Apple, like on my phone, it's in the app or in my wallet. I pay with Apple Pay for everything. So I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to pay with one of my Irish cards. I was like, that's fine, conversion fee once, no problem. Couldn't remember the PIN for any of them because I always pay with Apple Pay. And I tried 2 different cards, entered the wrong PIN twice on both, and I was like, I can't risk this. Because the pins are also in my phone, and I didn't have my phone. And I was like, I was starting to panic. I have that very easily. I was starting to panic because I thought, if he has to cancel this order and I have to come back for it again, like, that's twice I have to come back to this area. So I remembered my Belgian card. My Belgian card has had the same PIN since I was a teenager, and I know exactly what that PIN is. So I was like, oh, can I please try one more card? And that worked. And I used that then for Shake Shack as well, so I had to pay conversion fee twice. But I walked out of that Nintendo store shaking. I was also sweating. I had not eaten that much yet that day. I was like, I just want to get back to the hotel. But then I tried to find Target 3 times on my way back and just got so annoyed. I was like, I swear to God, I nearly started crying because I was so over it. I was so frustrated that I just couldn't read a map. And then I was even more frustrated that I couldn't find the Shake Shack. But eventually I did. I came back. I ate my emotional hamburger. And now I'm just spilling my guts to you guys because I needed to really get this off my chest. I achieved nothing today. I didn't go to the Empire State Building and I didn't go to Top of the Rock. I went to Times Square. I filmed it, but I went to Times Square 4 times. And it was more crowded each time I went. So, and it rained. What the hell? The weather also keeps changing. This morning it said still 45% chance of rain on Monday and Tuesday, but dry today and tomorrow. After I came back from CVS and it was raining, it said it was gonna rain today. Well, duh. And the rest remained the same. And this afternoon, while I was watching football, it changed to partially sunny days, warmer temperatures than it said before, and no rain. So let's hope that holds now for a while, because I don't want to sit on the top of an open top sightseeing bus while it's raining. I did not bring anything with a hood, and I definitely didn't bring a brolly. I'm not gonna bring. We don't even really use brollies in Ireland. You're not. I was always told when I moved there, you're not Irish if you use one. So I don't bring one on vacation. So yeah, I kind of failed day. But I'm exhausted. I've been up since so early. There's a good chance I'll be up this early all week because I'm still living on Irish time. So maybe earlier, I have more time to fit things in. I realized very quickly that I really should have booked 2 extra days, but the flight back this late is way too expensive if I want to change it, so can't do that. But I'm hoping I can start my days earlier. I already moved my Statue of Liberty appointment tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 12 p.m. because I got an email from the cruise line that priority boardings, which I have because I booked in advance and through the city pass, that priority boardings at 2 and 3 p.m. will not have enough time to visit Ellis Island. I looked up cruise times. They're called the cruise line. The cruise only takes 10 minutes, and the last one back is at like 10 past 5. Are you telling me that if I was arrived at 10 past 2, 3 hours wouldn't be enough for Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty? I found that a very weird statement. I'm guessing this was not explained in the email, but I'm guessing you only get a limited time and you have to take a specific cruise back. I don't know. I'll see what that looks like tomorrow. But maybe if I can't take the last bus back tomorrow, it should arrive near Rockefeller Center at 6 p.m. Maybe then I can still do Top of the Rock. I think at this time of year they do it until like 10 p.m. or something. I'll Google map that. And again, if they don't, I'll find a way to buy a separate ticket and fit it in. I really want to do that. So yeah, let me end it here. I just want to quickly show you what I got in the Nintendo store. First of all, look at this bag. I didn't ask for it. This is just the shopping bag you get. It's got a giant link on it. I'm keeping this bag forever. Then I bought a giant Korok pillow. Plushy, really, I guess, but it looks more like a pillow. So, when I started playing Breath of the Wild, I know Koroks were in Link's Awakening. No, Wind Waker. But I didn't even notice them. I only played Wind Waker once back then. I really got to know them best in Breath of the Wild. And I saw someone made these handmade on Etsy, and I always wanted to get one, but they were just really expensive. The Nintendo source sold them a lot cheaper because obviously they're mass produced. So cute. I think it's so cute. Then I got... Oh, that's the only thing I got. Yes, that's the only thing I got. This is Fauna from Animal Crossing. My absolute favorite animal from Animal Crossing is Bo, which is a male deer. But I've never, in any online photos that people take in like Animal Crossing Facebook groups, of any store that sells plushies, seen Bo. I don't think Bo exists. Again, I can't find them on Etsy, but they're like €100 because they're handmade. I've also never seen Fauna, but Fauna was there, and she's my second favorite, so I picked up Fauna with the cute little spots on the back of the head. And that's it, actually. I thought I bought more, but I bought 2 things because I wanted to buy the plushies from Zelda and Link, and they just looked mad. Like, their faces looked like they were really angry, so I decided not to. I do have a Sephora haul, but again, because I didn't even get half the things on my list, I want to see if I can find any of those things in either another Sephora or in like an Ulta. There are some brands that are like Rode, for for example, is exclusive to Sephora, but there are other brands that are sold in Ulta that might have what I'm looking for. So I will do a haul probably when I get back. But yeah, wanted to get this video out to you guys tomorrow because I wasn't able to record the Disney one before I left. So I hope this is okay. My battery is rapidly depleting, so I'm gonna charge this and leave it at that. But just today was kind of a bust. I kept getting lost. I kept forgetting things. And I really, aside from buying a few things, I really accomplished nothing. So here's for a much better next few days, a much better rest of the trip. Let's just say that. I really have a lot of things booked and I don't want to lose out on all of them because girl can't find directions. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.